Hi, my name is Tyrus McKnight. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's a creation tool that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Please download Anchor, the free podcast app, and go to Anchor FM to get started. Yes, sir. We're back again.
All right.
We're getting together. We're getting it together. Has some technical.
Right. Got that squared up.
So we're just waiting on Rob to come in.
Sure. How the day went for you, man?
It's pretty good. I can't complain too much, Had a lot of business things to take care of, but other than that, everything's pretty good.
Right. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Hey, man, it's gonna be nice having Rob on here tonight, man.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, a creative brother. Like he opening the door for other people too.
Yeah. And then he was up in Master P movie too. So.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
I got the hook up.
Someone asked about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good to see the progression that brother's making down here in New Orleans. A lot of rich talent down here, so
he should be joining us soon. Yeah, a lot of talent we don't know about, So.
Oh yeah, a whole lot, man. But it's been like that for a long time, man. Whether it's comedic talent, musical talent, musical from the instrument perspective, outside of singing and producing and stuff like that. We have talent always came out of here. And we're not even talking about athletic talent. That's a whole other
issue right there. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
This is good now. So they just text me. I think they're on the I think they're about to get ready to come in soon.
All right.
As soon as possible. How's everything going for you, my brother?
Oh, it's going cool, man. Going cool. I'm employed, steady income. I can't complain, man.
Yeah.
It's always something on the job that. What's that?
I say, no pandemic gonna keep you down.
Nah, man. Not in the field I'm in. And if it did, you gotta keep a couple of irons hot,
Yeah. Just in case.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Kind of brainstorming some ideas to, multiple sources of income, possible multiple sources of income.
Right. Like I was saying, man, I was talking to this millionaire up in Atlanta, and he was telling me how you could just do the stock blindly, and in 10 years, your wealth will be, kind of like triple the average American income. You exceeded by at least $70,000. At least the average American income. So.
Oh, all right.
It's always good.
Sound like you're making the right connections, man. Having conversations with the right people.
I'm trying to, my brother. It's a grind within itself, though.
Right. I could all imagine, bro. Not like remind me of one of these ROB KAZI skits I saw when he was talking about the Instabot.
Oh, there you go. Mr. ROB KAZI is with us.
How you doing today, brother?
So do we see each other? Do I click the thing to see a video? Or?
Nah, we don't see each other.
Okay.
We don't see each other.
I didn't set up and everything. I didn't set up in my office and pick my bed out and everything. Damn.
What's up, dude?
How you doing today, brother?
Man,
Good to have you on,
good,
man.
bro. Blessed and highly favored. I can't call it.
That's
We see it, man. Listen, bro, we've been following your comedy skits for a while now.
mm-hmm.
I know I'm a huge fan of yours. We
Second
were
that.
just talking about one skit you did. We just want to know. First, we want to thank you for joining us tonight.
Mhm.
Another thing is the first thing we want to know is how did you get started in comedy?
How I got started in comedy was actually a mistake. I was I don't know if you check my page out, but my music, that's my first love. So when you hear me doing music, that ain't one of them old comedians trying to do music. Nah, that's how it all started. And I was like, I said, you know what? I'm naturally funny, and I seen that was the wave. Some years ago, it was the wave posting some funny stuff, and you get your followers up.
Right.
And I said, I'm gonna post a few funny videos, and when I get to 10K, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna start pumping my music. But God seen it another way. It ain't happening that way. I got the 10K, and I just start, I start getting DMs and messages, and I start realizing what it was doing for people. I was changing people's moods, and I kind of fell in love with comedy too. So I was like, all right, God, I guess this is the door I'm walking through. So yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man. And you've been doing great at this. You mentioned music is your first love.
Mm-hmm.
You're still doing music. You got singles out under the name. I think it's Tommy Real Nigga, but we all know it's you though. And you also just we all just that Big 40.
Big
I like
40.
that Big 40 record.
Oh yeah.
Big 40. So the only songs I dropped since the buzz or since the blow up or whatever you want to call it, was the Big 40, the time, and I played around into the song Jill Scott on my page, and it was like, man, make it a real song. So I made that a real song. That one actually did real good. And
I heard
the
that.
latest song I just dropped was actually on more of a serious note called Black
Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
man,
Black Woman.
that was solid, bro.
There we go.
That was solid.
I just dropped that one, and that was just basically just to shed some light more on that topic, because I feel like a lot of rappers, and I'm guilty of it too. I did it before in the past, foreign this, foreign girl this, but at the end of the day, I love Black women. Like, I love Black women. So, and I don't feel like they get enough love. They don't get enough respect. And they don't even got they barely have songs. I mean, I heard a few songs, maybe like some Wale types, but other than that, they just all foreign girls, like even 50 Cent, I want something foreign. Like, it came up, I'm like, man, Black women are the most foreign, women on the planet,
Straight up, dog.
My opinion.
Straight up.
In the finest. In the finest.
Yes, indeed.
I dare somebody to find a So you're from New Orleans, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Born and raised.
What part of New Orleans are you from, sir?
I'm from I was born in the Nine Wall, stayed in the Nine Wall for a good little bit, moved to the east. Well, the East New Orleans is sort of the Nine Wall, but people don't call it that.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. So I was in the Nine Wall, moved to.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much my whole life there.
Gotcha.
So let me ask you something, because it's kind of for me, I find it kind of difficult because you don't find too many actors really coming out of New Orleans. You may find a couple like Anthony Mackie. Who else we got?
Wendell Pierce.
Wendell Pierce.
Wendell Pierce.
Funny story. Before all this popped off, I was my cousin have a security company, installing alarm systems, running wires, cameras, all that. And I was working for him, and I actually installed cameras and some security stuff at Wendell Pierce's house. So that was.
Man, that's he's a down to earth guy too.
Did he give you any tips?
Yeah, that was that manual work right there, getting it in.
Yeah. Real deal.
Did he give you any tips on how to become an
actor?
I
didn't ask him. I seen him that one time, and I went over there 2 other times, but the other 2 times we went, he wasn't there. He's been having that service for some time, so we can kind of just go in there and do what we got to do.
Right.
So yeah, I never really talked to him. I don't know. I was always the type to. I just don't like to step on no toes. I get in the room. I'm a little more aggressive now, but I just don't like to be overbearing.
Right. That's cool, man.
So how did I Got the Hook Up 2 come about though?
That was
How did that come about?
man, that was like some last minute stuff. The movie, funny story, the movie was actually done. But my followers was going hard for me. Like, shout out to all my fans, all my followers, all the people that been supporting me. Much love, bro, because he was doing a movie and he was putting people from New Orleans in it. And man, and then at the time, like Tommy had just got on a rise for real, and Tommy was like hot. And he was going away from it. Like, people was like, man, why you don't put Rob in it? And I started seeing the comments. It was like going at P heavy, like, man, you don't put Rob in it. I ain't watching it, man. How you go to the city and not get the hottest nigga in the city? Like,
right.
I ain't gonna lie, I felt that way too, but I just didn't voice it because I like to stay humble. I was like, I ain't gonna say nothing if it happened. If it was for me, it's for me. God ain't gonna for me, so I just didn't speak on it. And I left it alone. And one day I got a phone call. Shout out Juggy. Juggy called me, and Juggy was like, yeah, man, we do. And next thing you knew, he gave the phone to Pete, and he was like, man, what you doing? I'm like, nothing. He was like, man, look, I want you to move. I need you to move. I'm gonna fly y'all tomorrow. I'm like, tomorrow? Like, nigga, like, but yeah, I just called my girl, told my girl, like, hey, look, I gotta fly out, but I made it happen. We made it happen. So, shout out to Pete for that.
Dang, this is up, man. Any other movies you're looking at or looking towards?
Yeah.
Anything like that?
Now I don't know when it's dropping or if it's still, what's going on with it. I know Corona kind of slowed things down, but it's a movie called My Struggle. It's with Boosie.
Okay.
So I actually played Boosie, like a younger version of him. So so it's Boosie young in the movie. I'm playing his daddy.
All right.
Yeah, so that was a real prominent role. That role there, I think that's like helped me more of my serious side. It was no funny stuff. It was no character. It was just, me in raw form and, just playing his father and just, kind of just being a serious actor. So shout out to Boosie for that, man. And man, Boosie hit me. Let me know when it's gonna drop, bro. Damn. But and I also I have something else I'm currently working on. Corona kind of slowing this down, but we're supposed to be going into production real soon. But I landed a Netflix original.
Man.
So yeah, we called Do We Matter? So basically about what's going on in the world today, and that's another serious role. That's another role. No comedy, no funny stuff, just real serious acting chops. Shout out to my boy Y. Luck. He wrote the movie. He's from New Orleans. He reached out to me, and man, that's a blessing, man. That's a blessing.
Yeah. That is definitely what's up, man. I always said that comedians, they play the best serious roles. Like for example, like Chris Tucker, the Dead Presidents. I feel like that was a great role. And I feel like comedians, they have so much pain behind their laughter. How do you feel about that?
Man,
what's your take on that?
What's interesting and what's crazy is I actually just posted a video today. I posted a video earlier today, and I was just telling my fans that I was just apologizing that I kind of went I didn't go MIA because I was still posting here and there, but it was like kind of promotion and some little weak videos I would just put on my page just to have some activity going. But I was just in a slump. I was in a real slump, like mentally, spiritually, and a lot of times I fight through that. A lot of people don't know, they get on the page and they just like, oh man, do the clown, he funny. But a lot of times I'm fighting through my own struggle just to make people laugh. I feel like me to a high purpose, and to whom much is given, much is required. So I sort of just eat my pain, swallow my pain, and I just kind of ease other people's pain. That's kind of always been a thing of mine, and I think that's that's kind of how I got into comedy. Even though I said it was a mistake, with God touching anything God put his hands on is never a mistake. So I won't take that back. It wasn't a mistake. It was destined. I just didn't see it for myself. But even growing up in class, like being a class clown, and getting put out of class, I never realized at that moment the only reason because I wanted people to smile. And if you came to class and you was in a bad mood, I'm gonna mess with you. Not in a negative way. I'm not gonna joke you, but I'm gonna say funny stuff around you just to lift
Right.
your spirit, because I don't want you down around me. So I mean,
Right.
I never really noticed that why I did that. It was just something I love to do. So yeah, man. So it's I feel what you're talking about. We do carry a lot of pain, bear a lot of pain, and we just sort of, you know, use our craft to get it out. A lot of times what I do, I just use the video to get and release. You know, that is my release.
That's cool, man. I remember you gave us a glimpse of that too in one of the skits that you did, where you did Rob Kazi versus Tommy. And I remember sitting down there watching that, man, and like legit, I sat there and I won't say I didn't blink, man, but I literally sat there and watched watched all the way through and was like, damn, at the end, I like this shit. This man got two sides to his shit. I like this. I was always waiting to see what was coming next, man. So that was cool that you gave us that glimpse and to let us know that, you know, that wasn't all that was out there for you. Like, there's more. Like, keep your eyes open.
Yeah, and that was a perfect example, right? I wasn't even thinking about that, but that was a perfect example of my pain, what's on my mental, and you know, that was like on my mind heavy. And before I did that video, I kind of lashed out, like on my page at my fans, you know, and I apologize once again for that. And I was like, man, don't call me this and whoop, don't do this, and you know, I was kind of upset about it because for years I've been grinding to get where I'm at, and for those years I've always been sporadic and random. You know, I'm gonna give you what's on my mind, but then it got to a point to where everybody was like, Tommy, and I felt so boxed in, and I'm like, dude, like, do y'all even understand how much talent I have? But a few friends reached out to me like, hey, look, go with the move, bro. Use that, utilize that to get up there. You know, you have more. You'll be able to show that eventually in the future. But right now, use what's working. And I humbled myself, and I took heed, and I was able to express my pain in that video, or express my thoughts in that video, and do it in a creative way rather than lashing out on my page. So that was another way of me getting my pain out or getting my thoughts out.
Well, you definitely did your thing, man. I don't remember where it was. I saw you in the mall, but it was kind of like I was on the opposite side. I don't know if it was Oakwood or if it was Lakeside. And I saw some people like doing the Tommy thing, you know, at you when you were just kind of, you know, you trying to walk and do your little thing, you know, just shopping and whatnot. And I saw, you know, you gave that respect, but I can kind of see in your eyes, it was like, yeah, you know, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I could see it was more like you was kind of getting a little tired of it. You know, the vibe was there, and I was like, yeah, so that man ready to push that. I remember seeing you, and that was the first thing I thought about. I said, that man ready to move forward from that.
And I don't right now, like I said, I fully embraced it, and I wouldn't necessarily say I'm ready to move forward, but I'm ready to show more. I'm just ready to show more, but I don't mind Tommy. And right now, depending on my mood, it don't bother me when I'm out. But you know, you do have people that forget that, you know, that I'm human. And I think that's the only people that bother me, the people that just run up all this static and with their phone out. You know, it's the phone. Like, if you run up your static, like, you know, Rob Cat, like, that's cool. Oh, Tommy, that's cool. But when you just take your phone out without permission, out with my family, you know, you don't know how I'm feeling mentally. You don't know where I'm at, bro. Like, you don't know how I'm feeling. Make me laugh, crack a joke. Like, nigga, like, I'm in here shopping. You know what I'm saying? So that bothers me. But people like just walking up, calling me Tommy, doing the, what's up, real nigga? Like, that don't bother me no more. I embraced it.
Yeah. That's cool.
No, the Tommy character. He's your typical guy that just in jail, right?
Yeah.
For the last few years, still wearing Jabos from 2000.
Yeah.
And
you know
how it takes some creativity. It takes some creativity to bring life to a character like that and make people laugh at a character like that. How did you go about doing that, man?
Well, honestly, that's a real life character. That's my cousin. That's a family member of mine. So I would say I'm gonna say this, and this is not a pat on the back. This is not me raving or bragging. Like, Tommy is literally my easiest character because it's real life, and I grew up around it, and I've been around it. I experienced it. You know, I seen it. I rode with it. So, you know, like, you know, I kind of followed the lead of the ignorance at one point, and so I realized that wasn't for me. So it's natural. It's normal. So when I do it, it's easy. It's real easy.
That's what's up, man. That's cool.
Yep.
Cool.
So you know, so are there any other characters that and I see the
Charlie
Chokehold. Lucius.
Charlie Chokehold.
Charlie Chokehold. I thought Charlie Chokehold. How did you now? Was that a difficult character for you, or is that related to somebody that you know as well?
Nah, that was man, shout out to my boy Donnie. He in LA right now cooking. He cooking on movie sets and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
That's my boy.
Okay.
Now he hit me up this was years ago. He hit me up like, hey, look, let's go to, it was Hot Boy Rhino, matter of fact. I think Hot Boy Rhino hit me up. Like, man, let's I want you in this video. I'm like, cool. It's like an old school 70s theme. I'm like, I bet. So I tell Donnie, we go to the thrift, we get the little, the little old school clothes and stuff like that. And we do the video. After the video over, he like, man, let's go hit Bourbon because it's the weekend. I'm like, all right, take me home, let me change. He like, nigga, let's go like this. I'm like, man, what? So I'm like, you know me, I'm Joseph, I'm stupid. So I'm like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I kept the clothes on. We go hit Bourbon and we just walked around, and that's when the character created. I came up with a name for it that day. I'm like, man, what's your name? He was like, man, I'm gonna be Pimp Pigeon too. I'm like, I'm gonna be Charlie Toko. And then bam, we just ran with it. I posted a video. They start liking it. And I kind of got away from it for a while. Even just the same thing I did with Tommy. A lot of people don't know Tommy. I've been creating Tommy years ago. I just stopped doing it. I stopped doing it, no particular reason. I just, like I said, I do sporadic stuff and I do random stuff. So I kind of forgot about it. And then I was just scrolling a lot of times to get inspiration by me not like never having dreams of being a comedian. A lot of times I would draw inspiration from my own self. I would just scroll down my page and look at old videos and see, what can I recreate? How can I, just feed myself some energy? And I seen that and I said, ooh, I just kind of put some clothes on, switched the wig up and brought Charlie back, did the same thing with Tommy, switched the clothes up, brought Tommy back, and, they fell in love with it. And it's a go, so it's working.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
Yes, indeed.
Brother, talk about how important it is to have a good team when you're doing this, when you're going through this and you're going through
it's so important, it's so vital. And right now, man, whoever listening, I need to expand my team, you know what I'm saying? Because man, it could be a lot easier for me right now, but my team is very small, very, very small, like maybe consists of maybe a total of 3 to 4 people, and you kind of need a little bit more. And
right,
man, it's important because you, as talented as I am, as gifted as I am, and even when I was doing everything by myself, recording, editing, playing all the characters, but it started to take a toll when things pick up. You don't have the time to try to edit everything. You don't have the time to try to do everything. You need somebody setting up or answering emails or doing this and doing that. So, man, a team is very, very important. So make sure you got somebody solid in your corner, a few people solid that's backing you, and yeah, bro, it's important.
That's cool. Hey, can I ask you? Oh, go ahead.
Speaking of somebody,
go ahead. I wanted to ask you right quick. So your sister is Megan, correct?
Megan.
All right. Well, right. So first of all, shout out to her because I saw in the video that y'all shot. Was she directing the video or like what was her role in that? Because I saw she had a place in that.
Yeah. So what happened? We actually directed it together. But I wrote the song, and my sister, she's just as talented as me. Megan just as talented as me. Like I got the video, and I have the vision for it, but to me, it wouldn't be right to not have a black woman a part of that video, not just the visual, but actually working on set. And I'm like, who better to use than my little sister? She's a black woman, and she's a good director. So I kind of told let her lead the way, do her thing, and I kind of co-directed, kind of gave some here there, but so yeah, that's how that came about, man.
Shout out to Megan Rachel, man. And one of the questions I wanted to ask, and I'm gonna go ahead and let brother Tyrus go ahead and slide in there. So I was speaking with some some of our people that we just kind of like chopping it up on different things, and one of them had mentioned to me, I don't know if they heard you somewhere or interview or something, and they mentioned something like about your family being large and you kind of wanting to have your family and y'all kind of like be almost like the next Wayans.
Yeah, man. I got 8 sisters. I got 8 sisters and 2 brothers.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's and I feel like God put people in your life. Sometimes you can't take everybody with you, but I do believe in utilizing the people with you because some people are like, oh, you use me, but I mean, we all here on this earth to be utilized by somebody or something, you know.
Right.
So you know, I just like to utilize the pieces around me, and I'm like, why not use my family? You know, if my brother, I got 2 brothers, and I know I can have them building the sets of these movies that we working on. Why not? You know, why go? You know, they could build the sets. You know, I got somebody helping me direct. I can use my sister. You know, I have my other sister who's a teacher, and she's very well organized. So if I need somebody organizing this or doing that, I can utilize her. You know, I have other sisters who's good writers, Megan's a good writer. My sister Renelle's a good writer. A lot of my family's a good writer because I mean we get it from it's hereditary. My mama did poetry. So I didn't discover that till I was like a preteen, like, you know, maybe like 12 years old. And I, you know, she showed me her book, you know, when I start rapping, really getting into rapping. She was like, oh, son, let me show you where to get it from. And she showed me her book. I said, damn, she was good, real good. So a lot of us kind of inherited that writing skill from her. So, you know, a lot of times my family would feed me ideas like, oh, this would be funny. And a lot of us can act naturally. You know, naturally could just act, you know, just put the camera on and just clowns, bro. We just clowns. So I'm like, man, I really want to like use that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Now, for all the people listening, that's how you put your family on. That's how you're supposed to do it right there.
Yeah,
for all the people listening.
Go ahead.
Now,
I said, you know,
ahead,
and then you know, it's, you know, a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to work with family because this, you know, it's difficult moments. It's hard moments. But at the time, it just depends on your heart, man. And then when somebody really see you moving, and my family, I appreciate my family because it's so much of a help. You know, everybody got the ill ways or they down what you call it, shortcomings or stuff like that about character or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you could see the strength in people, and you know, and I think those people appreciate that, and they, you know, and they kind of get behind you a little bit more when you do that, when you could see the strength in them. So I just try to, you know, just balance everything and just be that person, to not just be, oh, well, I'm gonna just, you know, do. So, you know, I give them a voice, even if I'm kind of running the show and, you know, it's all on me and my brand. I'm still like, okay, now, what you say? No, say that again. What you say? Okay, now I like that. So, you know, just being like that, you know, just not being too cocky, being too big headed. You know, that also helps it work when you're working with family.
Right. Much respect.
Okay. Now New Orleans is 60% of the population. Black people are 60% of the population, but we only control 2% of economics in New Orleans. Now, you just talked about economics. How do you think, as a New Orleans, that Black people could, and if you know New Orleans, like black people are economically, think that we could come up economically in New Orleans?
Economically, I just had a brain fart. I know that word, but I don't know the full. I know it, but I'm high right now, so you gotta forgive me. Let me see. I was trying to Google it while we was on the phone as you was talking.
Hey man, no judgment here, baby.
How can we dominate with the money? How can we get the money?
There we go. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think man, I know it's cliche, but that crab in the barrel mentality is man, it's so real, though. It's so real in the city, and I don't know why. I think it's a you know, nobody don't want to outshine them, you know, or to have more than them. But man, that's you know, I'm big on God. I'm a man of faith, and I feel like for me, it's for me. You heard it. I said it before with the Master P thing. You know, if it's not for me, then oh well, I ain't gonna harp on it. So what's for me is for me. So the same thing with my partner Corey. So when I seen the Tommy blowing up, and I'm like, man, they loving his character, and my dog doing videos. So I'm like, man, look, Tommy need a partner. Like, you know, he need a road dog. I want to put my partner on. I want to help him get up. You know, and if he climb higher than me in that process, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? Something, you know, it's not gonna stop, because God wouldn't do that if it's for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if it's for me, it's for me, though. So I don't mind helping people or showing people how to get the money. Hey, look, do this, do that. You know, let me show you, because a lot of people will tell you, and this is what I don't like. I don't like about people in New Orleans. Like, they'll tell you, oh, man, it's easy. I did it. It's easy. If I did it, you could do it. All right, well, give me the blueprint. Like, you can't just tell me. They can show me.
Real
You know what
shit.
I'm saying? You
Right.
preaching it, but you ain't teaching it. You know, show them how
Mm.
to get the money,
Yeah.
give somebody the game. You know, and a lot of times that really could stop a lot of the violence too. You know, like if you're giving people the
Yeah.
game, then
Right.
you're giving people a piece of the pie. Ain't nobody trying to, you know, come take a piece of your pie. You just showing them how to
Hey,
go get their own pie. But a lot
that's
of times,
real.
niggas just be
Right.
on some selfish. Oh, I'm gonna do it this way. I ain't gonna put him on, or I ain't gonna tell him about this over here because I know he's talented and he might come. Man, look, I don't be worried about none of that though. And I think it really starts there, bro. It's like self-awareness, knowing yourself, knowing and having that faith in God and knowing what's for you is for you. And anything outside of that, I think is gonna be hard. You know, and you know, you just gotta have a big heart though. If you don't have that, you're a selfish person. And I don't know why
Yeah.
so many selfish people in New Orleans, but it just seemed that way. But I mean, we do have a
Yeah.
lot of people. Shout out Super. Shout out Super. She was always supportive. She still is. You know, she was one
Yeah.
of the people in my ear. You know, when I kind of lashed out, she was like, "Hey, Rob, look, call me, take that down. Don't do that. That's a bad move." You know, something like that. So
Mhm.
it's always, you know, so it's a lot of supportive people. I can't say everybody. It's a lot of people that's
Yeah.
not, but it is a lot of people that's solid that I've ran into in New Orleans.
That's a good
Yeah,
point you
bro.
made, man. Because greed is a big thing. You know, I noticed kind of like even going back to what Tyrus was talking about. You know, like with the politicians and us only controlling a certain amount. You know, you have politicians who kind of, you know, that greed aspect. You know what I'm saying? You're in the office to serve particular people, but you know it wind up turning to some greed stuff. You know, and then you
Right.
know flip it around to outside of politics. It's kind of like that, you know, just kind of like in everyday life, like with people with businesses, like you said, you're gonna support certain people, other people you don't support. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you 100% on that, bro.
Man, and then like even with the politicians and stuff like that, like they get that greed, like you say, get that greed, and they supposed to be doing stuff for the people, but they be like, well, I could pocket this, and I could do this, and I could do that, and notice how a very large percentage of the time it come back to bite them. You
Yeah,
know, because it's like
yeah,
Mhm.
it's just that greed thing, bro. It's gonna come back to bite you, and a lot of people don't understand. People faith that where they at with God, but in my walk with God, I realize and understand that what you put out in the universe, you gonna get back 10 times fold. You know,
yeah,
like when you go to church, I don't really go to church a lot. You know, I'm not gonna sit and I go to church. Nah, I don't really go to church for real. You know, but I still
hmm
believe in tithing. You know, not tithing to the
yeah,
church, but tithing to the community, tithing to people in need, and when you do that, dude, it come back. Now I'll never forget a quick little story before I came up. Before I came up, it was a little situation. I ran into this dude around Orleans, and he had
uh-huh,
just got put out one of the little homes because he was like he had some type of disease going on, something like that. They kicked him out, had his family, but you know, and I thank God for the spirit of discernment because you know a lot of people come to you running these stores, but
yeah,
I always could sense when it's real and when it's fake. And
hmm
man, I didn't have much in my pocket, dog. I was riding around in a 15-passenger van that my daddy was letting me use. I ain't really had no job, no money for real. I ain't know where my next dollar was gonna come from. And dude,
hmm
he was like, man, all I need is another $10. I got such and such, and he told me I could stay or whatever. He go get his medicine or something like that. He was trying to get. He showed me the papers, all that. Dude, you know, dude was really, really sincere. And dude,
yeah,
I probably had like $14 in my pocket, no lie, and I gave dude 10. I gave dude
yeah,
$10. I drove off with $4 in my pocket. I ain't know where my next dollar was gonna come from. And no
yeah,
lie, dog, the very next day, my cousin called me. The same cousin did the security thing. That was like on a day-to-day thing. He said, "Hey, what you doing this week?" I was like, "Nothing." He said, "I need you this whole week, $100 a day."
Ooh,
I'm
Mm.
like, damn, man, I
let's
ain't even really
go.
had to work that many hours, so I just came up on 500 off of blessing somebody with 10. So I mean,
Yes, indeed.
it's just your heart, dog. Like what you put out in the
Yeah,
universe is gonna come back.
yeah, yeah. I
Well,
respect that.
you seem like a good-hearted brother. Now let me ask you something. Now, and I don't, just if I start asking relationship questions, so y'all buckle in.
Let's
Hey,
go.
so because they be on my neck
Mm-hmm.
about this because
Nigga at your top.
I'm kind
Don't
of
tell
harsh
about
with
your neck at your top.
it. Now, as far as having a woman, a
Mm-hmm.
good woman, a solid woman on your team, tell the people how important that is
Man, it's
for you.
dude, it's real good spitting what you know, those words you said was key words, you know, having a good woman, having a solid woman, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of women out there that don't understand that you are the place that you're supposed to be a man's peace. You know, you got to be that man's peace, but at the same time, we have to look in the mirror and ask, what are we doing to get that peace? You know what I'm saying? Are you out of pocket, or what you doing? So a lot of men, we have a bad habit of, you know, pointing the finger, of placing blame, and not looking at what we're doing, you know, to cause that ripple effect. So, you know, just got to really just work as a team, bro. And like, in having somebody who could pick you up when you down, or talk to you, you know, when you kind of just need a little, you know, little encouragement. You know, having somebody that believes in you, having somebody that's gonna hold you down regardless of the situation. You know, that's big. That's big. That's real big. You know, make you feel like you're not alone. You know, and especially when it's solid, when it's real. You know, just that love. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. My love language is touch. So I just like to come and just hug her and touch her and just, you know, lay in the bed and that huggy, you know, stuff. I like that kind of stuff. So I mean, it's big, though. Right. It's big. It's real good for your mental if you got you a good woman. You know, if you got somebody just nagging and very, very insecure, that could be very, very hard. You know, my ex was very insecure, and that just didn't work at all. Like especially getting accused and you know you ain't doing nothing. It's like, I can't do it.
Yeah. So you know, ladies, you know, be a man's peace.
Yes, because I shouldn't be going out dealing with the weight of the world. And when I come home, I need you to rub my shoulders, take some of this weight off. Don't put more weight on me and with the nagging and with the, you know, you got to be that peace. You got to be that peace. But once again, fellas, you got to give her a reason to be that peace. You know what I'm saying? You can't be out in the world doing what you do, and then you come home and you get popped, and you're like, oh, well, what you tripping? Like, she's not tripping. You out there tripping. And now she, you know, have reason to trip. So, I mean, it's on both parties, dog. It's on both parties.
Yeah.
If you want to put it, in other words, basically to sum it up, if you want you a good woman, you got to be a good man. You know, a lot of times you want a woman to hold you down and do this, but what are you bringing to the table? What are you doing? Are you grinding? Are you, you know, you showing affection? Are you doing the things to you know, to try to please or keep her happy? You know, if you're not doing those things, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. I've experienced it.
That man talking real right there.
Yeah, man, you know, you set it out on a relationship.
You know?
They won't be coming at me so hard now because it came from you. So
Rob said that.
You said it, so they ain't gonna come at you as hard.
Right. Quick.
So talk about the challenges of the industry, of being in the industry. What are some of the challenges that you have to face on a day-to-day basis?
The challenges is going back to the selfishness. You know, like I talked to you know, a few different people, and that could have did something as simple as, you know, help me get a blue check, help me get verification, but just with kind of withholding information. And like, I don't understand stuff. I'm like, what the hell? Like, how is me getting a blue check gonna harm you? Like, but dude, it's some, you know, that's one of the other challenges by so many people doing, like, trying to do the social media wave. Oh, I'm gonna get on, you know, doing these videos. They kind of like get saturated, and you know, it kind of make it a little harder, you know, because you got so many people and so many eyes on these different people. That's a challenge. I think another challenge is staying true to who you are and staying consistent, staying focused, because a lot of times you could lose that focus when you focus too much on the next man, you know. And that's another thing, you know, I was guilty of. I was guilty of some years ago before I popped off, looking at somebody like, dang, like how he get, you know, blow up past me. Like, man, I was at such and such followers, and this dude just passed me up by 100,000. Like, man, like, dang, like I'm funnier than this person. I'm this, I'm that. But it's like, I'm focusing too much on it. And it was no hate. You know, I didn't hate those people. I was happy for those people, but I was almost questioning God, like, damn, like, why not me? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm grinding hard too. You know, but I had to stop looking at that and just focus on my grind. I couldn't look at, you know, I had to put them blinders on like my daddy would see. My daddy would see, like, when you got a mule, he a country boy. Or when you're out there in the mule, put them blinders on. When you're out there in the field, put the blinders on the mule. Because when they play, if you don't got the blinders on, they start looking to the side, they get distracted, they slow down. But if you put the blinders on the mule, they're going to keep eating, keep chopping away. So you just gotta
Right.
walk around and just keep your blinders on, bro. You can't look to the left, can't look to the right. You just gotta keep your eyes ahead and do what you're doing. So that's a challenge. And even right now, it gets challenging. You know, I get in a little slump every now and then, like, all right, God, like when the next big thing, when the next pop, like I'm here, you know, I'm at 500, where that million at, where that blue check, where that big movie, where that big bag, like, you know,
Right.
but I just gotta, you know, it's all about patience and just pacing yourself and just keep grinding because it's working. And I'm very, very fortunate to be in a spot I'm in, so I can't complain, you know, because I'm this time 2.5 years ago, I didn't have nothing, you know, so I have nothing to complain about. But you do start wanting more, so that's definitely a challenge. I think another challenge is balance. Balance is definitely a challenge. Like balancing family time, balancing career, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, that it could get hard at times. Sometimes I could kind of get in my bag and, you know, I'm like 3-4 days straight just work to where I'm not really spending time with my family. And my son will come sometime. Hey son, you know, you on your phone or you on your computer and whoop. So, you know, you gotta keep that balance, bro, because, you know, it's a hard grind, but you still have to understand you've got people in your life, you got to give them that time, you know. So balance is another struggle. So it's a few challenges. So it's not easy, but so who much is given, much is required. I said that before. So, you know, you just gotta buckle down and keep your faith and keep pushing.
Right. Yeah.
And what advice would you give to somebody that's trying to get into the industry, somebody that's trying to make it and trying to level up, basically? What
I
advice
would
would you
say,
give
man,
them?
just keep at it. Keep at it. Not only keep at it, but don't let too many people in your ear. Please don't do that. People like, oh well, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it this way. If you got people talking to you like that, look at what they're doing. Please, like, just take a step back and look at what are they doing. Man, I wouldn't jump the fence like that. Have they ever jumped the fence? I wouldn't ride the horse like if you don't own a horse, you can't tell me how to ride one. You know what I'm saying? So. So, you know, so look at that. You know, be aware of that. Be aware of jealous and envious people that are trying to stop you from that. So just don't get detoured, man. Stay on a regular 9 to 5. What I was doing, I was working at 9 to 5, and when you get off from work, oh, I'm tired. It's hard to do this because look, if you want it bad enough, if you really, really want it, I know what it feels like to want it because I had that job 12, 13, 14 hours a day working construction. And guess what? When I got off, I'm on that computer, I'm editing, I'm thinking of a video. The whole while I'm at work, I'm out there working, but I'm thinking ideas. And when I get home, I'm gonna make it happen. No matter how tired I am, I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna put it out there in the universe and see what the universe got to offer and what they're gonna give me back. You know, so it's hard. A lot of people be like, man, I got this job and I'm doing this, so I can't. Man, time is so valuable. You got to understand time and how valuable time is. Utilize your time. You got 24 hours in a day. So if you work 8 to 12 hours, nigga, you probably only gonna get about 4 hours of sleep, but you better make it work.
Yeah.
You gotta make it work because it's gonna get to a point to where, guess what, you can start working less hours. Because it got to a point to where I was doing that, and then I started making a little promo money because I started building some followers, and people was like, oh, look, you can promote this. So I started making a little more money over there. So I'm like, ooh, okay. So I don't have to work as many days. So kind of like they were cutting the hours. I'm like, cool, like, you know. Then it got to a point to where I'm like, all right, I quit. You know, so it's a grind. So man, just keep at it. Watch who you got in your ear. Watch who you got in your corner. You know, make sure you got the right people in your corner backing you. Make sure you have a team. Try to build a team. If you don't have a team, I didn't have a team to start. I was just doing it all by myself. But do it, do it, man. Do whatever it is it takes to get there. You know, it's a grind, and you just got to keep grinding, though. It's a grind. I can't say that enough. You just got to keep grinding.
Yeah. Solid advice, bro. Solid advice.
Yeah. Well, we're about to get ready to get up out of here. Tell them, Mr. Kazi, where can they find you? You got a comedy show coming up next, right?
Yep.
But this week.
So
tell them where they go, where you can purchase tickets and everything.
City, the show is this Friday, October 16th at Uptown Hemp. The address I believe is 7979 Earhart. I'm not always sure. I think that's right, but it's on my page. Rob Kazi, Rob Kazi. Is on my page. You'll see the flyers. One of the latest posts I did, maybe like 3 posts down. The address on that. Click the tag in the caption. It's gonna send you straight to the ticket. You can go get the tickets and stuff like that. The tickets almost sold out, so you might want to jump on that ACIS.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can find me there. So it's Rob Kazi, Rob Kazi, Kazi on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you can find me on YouTube too.
Oh, one other thing I wanted to ask you. You have a website. You have any merch you want to push?
Yes.
Right.
The merch.
Yeah.
The
merch.
Go ahead,
push that,
okay,
man.
so I got a lot of people like Charlie Chokehold. I got the Charlie shirts. I got the socks. I got Tommy merch. We got some sweatshirts, some hoodies. You know, I got some more. I got some hats. Some dad hats I'm gonna drop. And on top of that, a lot of people ask me about my beard. I think that's one of my staples. One of my you know, a lot of people like, oh man, how you get your beard? How you the Kazi vitamins? That's another thing. You know, I gotta say the health growth vitamins. You know, work real well if you take them as recommended. You know, so I've been taking them. They got to a point to where I don't have to take them as much because my beard is out there. It's Gucci. So that's another thing.
Yes, sir.
Fellas, you trying to connect that beard? You know what I'm saying? You're looking a little shabby out here in these streets. Click that link. Click that link in the bio.
Yeah.
So what's your website?
RobKazi.com. That's in my bio as well. You go on Instagram, you click the bio, bam, you can find the YouTube link for the Black Woman Song. You can find the merch link. You know, all my links is in there.
All right. Ooh.
Yeah. And just thank you for joining us tonight. And
yeah, man, appreciate it.
To all my listeners, 13 Patient is on Amazon Kindle right now. Go cop that book. Just released it the other day. I should have had a hard copy by Friday though. Paperback will be up on Amazon by Friday. Dimitri, any businesses you got going on? Anything you got going on?
The 13 Patient. Man, stop playing and go get that book, bro. Like a dog.
Yeah. Appreciate that, my brother. Thank you guys thanks for joining me, man. We had fun tonight, brother. You when you blow all the way up.
Oh no. Look, like I told man, humbleness is key, bro.
You gotta come back and give us some more games.
That's how you get to the next step. Once you start getting big headed, God start taking that stuff from you. I don't want to take nothing he gave me. Hey, look, I won't keep everything, so I'm gonna just keep humble and just keep moving and just doing what God tell me to do. So you ain't never that. Never that.
That's what's up, bro. And
all right, man. We just gave you. Go ahead.
No, I ain't had nothing, man. I was just telling him thank you for coming, bro.
Okay.
Man, it's all love, man. I appreciate y'all for having me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And we just gave y'all the game, man. I want y'all to have a good night.
All right.
Peace.